In the shadows of the global economy, behind the financial institutions we interact with daily, lies a network of powerful entities that have shaped the modern banking system for centuries. These organizations, families, and institutions wield influence far beyond what most people realize. Their decisions can impact nations, dictate global policies, and even influence the rise and fall of economies. But how did such a system come to exist? And who are the true power players controlling the world's banks? To understand this, we must first go back to the origins of modern banking. The story begins in medieval Europe, where moneylenders and goldsmiths created the first forms of banking by storing wealth and issuing promissory notes. However, it was the emergence of powerful banking families in the 18th and 19th centuries that set the stage for the world we live in today. The Rothschild family, often regarded as one of the most influential financial dynasties, established a banking empire that spanned across Europe. Through a vast network of banks and financial institutions, they were able to fund wars, shape national economies, and even influence the policies of monarchs and governments. Their ability to lend money to both sides of conflicts gave them a level of power that extended far beyond wealth. It gave them control. But the Rothschilds were not alone. Other banking dynasties, such as the Rockefellers, Morgans, Warburgs, and Schiffs, played instrumental roles in shaping the modern financial system. The House of Morgan, led by J.S.P. Morgan, became a dominant force in American banking, exerting massive influence over U.S. economic policy. Morgan's financial empire helped stabilize the economy during times of crisis, but it also consolidated power in a way that made banking institutions nearly untouchable. In fact, J.S.P. Morgan was so influential that he was able to single-handedly bail out the U.S. government during the Panic of 1893. Proving just how dependent nations had become on private financiers. As the 20th century approached, these banking elites sought to create institutions that would formalize their control over global finance. This led to the formation of central banks, such as the Federal Reserve in the United States, which was established in 1913 under highly secretive circumstances. The creation of the Federal Reserve marked a turning point in financial history, as it placed control of the nation's money supply into the hands of a private banking institution rather than the government itself. While it was presented as a way to stabilize the economy, it effectively concentrated power in the hands of a select few bankers who dictated monetary policy behind closed doors. The establishment of central banks was not limited to the United States. Across Europe and beyond, powerful financial institutions set up similar entities, allowing them to regulate money supply, control inflation, and influence economic cycles. However, one institution would rise to become the most powerful of them all: the Bank for International Settlements (BIS). Founded in 1930 and based in Switzerland, the BIS is often referred to as the central bank of central banks. It operates beyond the control of any single nation and provides a private forum where the world's most powerful bankers meet to coordinate global financial policies. The BIS is completely independent from any government oversight, yet its decisions affect billions of people worldwide. The influence of these institutions extends far beyond monetary policy. Organizations like the International Monetary Fund (IMF) and the World Bank were established in the aftermath of World War II, ostensibly to assist developing nations and ensure economic stability. However, critics argue that these institutions have been used as tools for financial domination, trapping nations in cycles of debt that leave them economically dependent on more powerful countries. By issuing loans with strict conditions, the IMF and World Bank effectively control the economic policies of the nations they claim to help, ensuring that global financial power remains in the hands of a select few. What makes this network of financial power so impenetrable is its ability to operate largely in secrecy. Unlike political leaders who are subject to elections and public scrutiny, the individuals who run these banking institutions are not accountable to the public. Instead, they answer only to their own inner circles, ensuring that financial control remains centralized among a small elite. The decisions made at institutions like the BIS, the Federal Reserve, and the IMF are rarely transparent. Yet they determine everything from interest rates to the cost of living for people across the globe. Over the years, there have been countless theories and speculations about the extent of this financial control. Some believe that a global banking cartel dictates the fate of nations through economic manipulation, orchestrating financial crises to increase their power. While these claims are often dismissed as conspiracy theories, The undeniable reality is that financial institutions hold more power than most governments. The 2008 financial crisis exposed the dangerous levels of control these banks wield. When financial institutions engaged in reckless practices that led to an economic collapse, they were not held accountable. Instead, governments bailed them out with taxpayer money, reinforcing the idea that banks operate above the law. But who benefits from this system? The answer is clear: those who control the flow of money. The ability to regulate currency, issue debt, and set economic policies gives an immense advantage to those at the top of the financial hierarchy. This is why the wealth gap continues to widen, with a small percentage of the population accumulating an unprecedented amount of global wealth while millions struggle to make ends meet. However, this system is not invincible. In recent years, new financial technologies such as cryptocurrency and decentralized finance DeFi have emerged as potential disruptors to the traditional banking order. Bitcoin and other digital currencies operate outside the control of central banks, offering an alternative to the centralized financial system that has dominated for centuries. While governments and banks have attempted to regulate and control these digital assets, their very existence challenges the monopoly that financial institutions have long enjoyed. So, what does this mean for the future? The reality is that financial power will continue to be concentrated in the hands of those who control money unless systemic changes are made. As people become more aware of how these institutions operate, there is growing pressure for transparency, accountability, and reform. But history has shown that those who hold power rarely give it up willingly. The battle for financial control is ongoing, and while new technologies offer hope for decentralization, the entrenched banking elite will not surrender their influence without a fight. In the end, the world's financial system is not just about money, it is about control. The individuals and institutions that dominate banking are not elected officials, yet their decisions shape economies, influence governments, and dictate the financial well-being of billions. The question is, will the people take back control, or will the hidden rulers of finance continue to shape the destiny of the world from behind the scenes? As for this, only time will tell.